Hey, my name is Christian Reed, and I just wanted to, start my YouTube off with great vibes as always. And I just wanted to touch on a topic that's probably can help a lot of men, and even help women. How to deal with situations. I'm not always right, never will be always right, but I feel like the knowledge I do have can help many men, and actually, and it can even help women also. I'll be talking about fatherhood. Um, I'm 9 months in as a father, and I will say it's a blessing. Every step of the way, even the adversities, everything a blessing. This great man right here was a great father to me, my brothers and my sisters, and I learned a lot of morals and values from him. And I lost him last year. It was May 14th when I lost him. Today is May 16th. So it's like a year and a couple of days later. But my son, he was born in August 25th to be exact. And my father's birthday actually was in August. So his birthday was August 7th. So I knew my son was due date was in August, and I was hoping, my thing was having a kid. I always wanted my kids to meet my parents, both of them, and it'll be a joy to see how my parents react to my kids and how I am raising a child. Fatherhood is everything to me. You could be a billionaire, but if you're not taking care of your kids, it's hard for me to really respect you, and it's not about if I respect you or not. It's really just more about your kids respecting you, and they didn't ask to be here. You put them here. You know what you was doing to have them. So I just feel like as a man, no matter what you're going through or what, you got to do everything you can do to be there for that child. And I'll start off the beginning of parenthood. You got to learn the child, like learning my son. It was kind of easy for me. It came like second nature. I was just understanding how he liked to be propped up when he eat. How like it'd be simple things, but it was always it's my first time ever doing it. So I'm like, man, I just want to be the best I can be at doing it. A lot of fathers they get nervous when a child on the way, and I was that. But I knew everything was gonna be okay because I was gonna do my part and even more. I was gonna do anything I could to make sure he's taken care of, and I'm gonna do that my whole life. And I think that's one thing about being a father. Some of us go through difficult circumstances with maybe the mother, or maybe it's financially, but no matter what, you're not just that male anymore. You're that father. So going through those circumstances is going to only get better for you if you can go through those circumstances and still be there for your child. Because as they grow, a lot of kids grow up with no guidance, and what may be common sense to us, or the common may not be really common to them because they didn't have nobody to teach them. They didn't have nobody to be there for them. And I always say, no matter if you're a male or a female, it's always good to have that father figure, that masculine man and that feminine woman in a child's life, because it give them a balance. If you don't really have a balance, it's something you'll be missing here, and it's something you'll be missing there. And I feel like a lot of us haven't had that balance. I thank God for me having that balance. I had a mother and a father, but a lot of us don't have that. And the only way we can stop that generational curse is to provide that for our child, no matter what. Mothers, if you don't have like this good connection with the father, let him see his child. Let him take care of his child. Let him be there. Don't make it difficult for him to be there. Is it because it's not? You may look at your situation with him and y'all butting heads, but it's selfishness, because you only hurting that child. You keep him away from his father. And, if it's vice versa, you only hurting that child if you keeping that child away from his mother. No matter the circumstance, even if you have to be there while the father is there, because maybe the father got something else going on, you don't want the child around, or maybe the mother got something else going on that you don't want the child around. It's just the fact of that parent being there, that child will never have to have this question mark in his head. I was talking with somebody, and it's a wise saying, create a life that your child doesn't have to recover from. So simply, what that means, create a life that they don't have to recover from. Maybe you every time you see the father, y'all butting heads. Don't do that, because all a child gonna see is, I love both of them, and every time they get together, they butting heads, and it's only gonna cause resentment, possibly for either the father or the mother, and that's not good for no child to hate their father, their mother, especially when they both trying to be in their life. Sacrifices, man. It was times my homeboys would call me to go out and go here, go out and eat certain things. And, it was just like, man, I can't do that no more. I got to stay home. I got to take care of my child, because you want to balance. Me and my son's mother, we was partially together at the start of his birth. So you want a healthy balance, One thing I say through those 9 months, fellas, try your best to be there for everything that woman need, because if you not there, she gonna remember everything. Like, she gonna remember everything, So if she want Oreos with some Popeye biscuits, go get them. If she want that ice cream with fucking whatever, go get them. Just go do it, because what that'll do, it'll set you free. She'll know that you there. And that's one thing, we males, we don't know what the woman going through during pregnancy. We still normal. We just know that our child on the way. They got this, a lot taken out of them in their, you know what I'm saying? It's taking a lot out of them that we don't know nothing about. So just being there supportive 100% of the way, they can't never throw that back in your face and was like, well, when I was pregnant with your son or your daughter, you weren't really there. They can't throw that back in your face if you're there, And so, then when it come to feeding and waking up in the middle of the night, changing diapers and everything, just have a healthy balance. If she had a rough day, just get up. I ain't gonna lie to you. You gotta just, I hate getting woken up in the middle of the night while I'm asleep. But one thing about it, that's my son. So I gotta get up. He need his food, and he need his diaper change. But the moment that baby started crying, that baby ain't gonna stop crying. Like, as soon as that baby started crying, you gotta get on up, cause your sleep, you could have fed him, changed his diaper in about 20 minutes, but now you up for about 45 to an hour because you done sat there and laid down. Like, nah, get up. That baby ain't gonna stop crying. Get up, feed him, change him, put him back to sleep, and keep on going. The first couple weeks, kind of like a month and a half, the baby stay up all night. But the baby be up all type of times of the night. But the way I kind of figured it out, I would put chamomile in his milk. Like when I'm boiling the water, I put chamomile tea bags in there, and then I put his formula in there, and then he'll go back to sleep, because the chamomile, you know what they do. If you know about it, is it puts you to sleep. And when that's, I was just finding out remedies, to relax him so he could go to sleep. I made sure all the lights off, made sure the room dark. So I turn off all the lights at 10 o'clock, made sure the room dark, and just he will understand, like, well, it ain't no light, so he ain't finna look around. Because my son, man, it's like he don't want to miss nothing. He'll sit there, he'll just look around as the lights on, anything, you know what I'm saying? But when I turn off the lights, then he'll finally doze off and go to sleep. And it's just like when you parenting, you gotta make them sacrifices, It's just like no matter what going on, that child come first. This is your gold mine, your child. You know what I'm saying? It's not something you can put off later or put off to tomorrow. You got to do it now. You just always want to be that parent. What I looked at it as, when I was doing things rapidly for my son, I was proud of myself, because I'm like, it's a self-proven thing. Like a lot of fathers think, like, what am I going to be like when I have a child? But when you're just doing those things constantly and you just trying your best, that thought of failing as a father goes out your mind. When I was just doing, I'm like, man, I feel good about this father thing. To the public eye, it looked hard because a lot of fathers ain't doing it. And I'm be honest with you, when my son was in that hospital bed, like when the first night or two, that first night, he was like yelling, crying to the top of the lungs. Like, I'm like, dang, here we go, night number one. And I'm like, I see why a lot of fathers not there, because they can't take that. You know what I'm saying? But as a man, not no father, as a man, you got to be there. You got to be there through that. Because, I used to be like, dang, in the middle of the night. But every time he started crying in the middle of the night, I just wake up and smile, because any of that bad energy, that's what your child is. They may can't speak, but they can feel. And that bad energy, just even waking up, it'd be rough. You got to get up in the morning and go work. But it puts you at peace within and know, like, no matter what, I showed up. And that was big for me. No matter if he was crying 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning or whatnot, I made sure I was doing what I was supposed to do to make sure, like, he rest comfortably, he was fed, he was clean, and I think that's big, about fathers. We expect a lot of our women to do that, but as a father, you always want to go above and beyond. So if you do break up with that woman, or if she break up with you, she can't ever hold nothing over your head because you done everything. It's like she can't hold nothing over your head. And so being alert, like being a father, you got to be alert. Your child would send you signs. I know my son, the first few months, first month or two, I noticed every time he ate, it was just like his stomach was like, he would just cry. He would say, like, he'd be good throughout the day, but when he eat, then he gonna cry for about 45 minutes. I'm like, I know babies cry, but do they really cry this much? And the breast milk was just, I guess from what his mother was eating, kind of was messing with his stomach. And I think, that's one thing as a male, regardless of if I could do it all over again, I would be the male that maybe, cook more, so we like, they don't have to eat this, that, and the third. So the breast milk can be real good for the baby. And I think, as a male, we got to take that responsibility, because they done went through 9 months of a whole body change. I'm not a woman, but I know they go through a lot through pregnancy. And, just trying, showing efforts of trying. I remember my father, he cooked my mama some breakfast, and it was greasy. It was doing it right after she had me. And as soon as she ate the breakfast he cooked, she threw up. But she was always appreciative, because she said, you know what? Charlie tried. And I feel like as a man, that's all you can do, is just try. You know, it's it is beneficial to the relationship. It's beneficial to the baby. And what get better than that? You know what I'm saying? And so just being alert as a father of things, it'll put you ahead, learn your baby, take time to understand. Um and yeah, and so feeding. When I was doing night feedings, it was more, how can I make this easy for me? So I have this coffee kettle thing and I had a thermos. And so I before the night, say probably like 10:30, 11 o'clock, I go downstairs, I'll put I'll put water in the coffee kettle thing and then turn it on and boil it, and then I'll put it in the thermos. So I kept the chamomile packets in the thermos, and then I had so I poured the hot water in the thermos and then put the chamomile packet, like it was hanging outside the thermos, and then I tightened it. Then I brought it upstairs and I'm like, okay, we're ready for the night. So whenever he wake up, I already got my formula up here. All I gotta do is I got my formula in the thing that whole formula. It's like a twist thing, you can twist it and dump out the formula. So instead of trying to scoop in the middle of the night, because when that crying get to going, I ain't gonna lie to you, it may irritate some people. So the quickest way I felt like was to already have it in this little thing that dispensed the formula, and then I just pour the water in there to whatever ounce it needed to be at, and then I put the formula in the water, shake it up real good, feed the baby. And that was real beneficial. It made it easy on me. Like I didn't have to, wake up and warm the water up, and then I didn't have to do all that. It was all kind of like simple because the water, it stayed, warm throughout the night. I made sure I have some cold water up there, so if I had to balance it out, I knew my balance. I knew like when he started eating that 6 ounces, I fill up 3 ounces, almost to 4 ounces of hot water, and I pour the cold water in there and then give it a good balance, to make it warm so he can eat. Clothes. I say, don't go out buying all these clothes. When the first 3 months, they gonna take their time with growing. Well, this from my experience. First 3 months, they gonna take that time with growing, but then it just, like, say like when he was 3 months, I was buying 6 to 9 month clothes. He was growing fast, so I was buying 6 to 9 month clothes, and I wasn't gonna buy 3 months even when he was 2.5 months, because I'm like, 3 months is about over with. He gonna be 6 months soon, and it's a way to save some money, and I just felt like that helped me save some money in the process. Because I remember I bought a 3-month jacket, and he was like 2 months. And then when it was cold outside, I go to put it on, it was a little tight. And I'm like, dang, Junior, like, you just got 3 months, you about to. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to buy bigger clothes from here on out. And that kind of helped me save money, because if it's a little baggy on the baby, I mean, he going to grow into it. He ain't going to be 4 months that much longer, you know what I'm saying? So I always bought clothes a little bigger, and say like when he was getting out of his 3-month clothes, I was cutting the toes out of the little toe part out of his pants, so, and put them on socks. So then it'll still fit the pants, but it didn't have the toe part. He had on socks, and then it was just like, that's the way how I kind of saved some money with it. And that's pretty much, how I was saving money, and like a good method, I feel like, with clothes, because you could buy all these clothes and he may not never wear. And you're like, dang, like, it's going to be kind of like a waste of money. And that money could be going towards future things for him, maybe his college, or a car for him in the future. It's like you gotta always think ahead when you have children, because it ain't about just you anymore. It's about that child, and making life easier for that child is making life easier for you. That's how I feel. And so when you go in places, just like I say, like the night feeding, I had my thermos, and I made sure hot water was in there, and I kept a bottle, like one of my favorite water. I use Essentia. Um, but say I kept a bottle of that in there to balance the water out, so it'd be a good warm for him. And then when a baby, I call them blowouts. So Junior, he had a lot of blowouts, man. So I always kept about two or three pair of clothes on with me. So if he had a blowout, I could clean him up and then put him on a pair of clothes and shower him when I get home. And showers. I felt like I got in the shower with him. I hold him and shower him, clean him and whatnot. When he was real small. Then when I was like, he a little heavy now, I didn't want to slip. I didn't want him to slip out my arms or anything. So then I started using like this thing. I don't know how to really describe it off the top, but it's kind of like a basket in the shower, and then I'll wash them and clean them. And that was a pretty easy process. Whenever I had like this thing that I could pour water on his head, whenever I make sure I tilt his head back and pour water to get the soap off, and make sure it's just in the back direction so no water come down, and suffocate him or whatnot. And I know cradle caps. Okay, so my son, he had a cradle cap for a long time. So when he had a cradle cap, I'll put Vaseline on it, and that Vaseline would loosen up like the cradle cap, and over time, that's when his hair started growing. Because at first, his hair wasn't really growing, and I feel like it was because of the cradle cap. But when I started putting that Vaseline on his hair, my mother started putting the Vaseline on his hair, the cradle cap started coming off, and then he started growing hair. And so just when you're a father, just know it takes a village to raise a child. And just make sure that's the right village. Lead by example. If you want certain things done this certain way for the safety of your child, you voice your opinion. You speak up. But you got to also lead by example too. And, just know, make sure you take time for yourself. Mothers, make sure you take time for yourself. That's why a good balance, if you together or if you co-parenting, a good balance, it makes it easier for everybody. It's like, because the mother, she gonna want to go out and do what she gotta do, and you being a good father, you just be like, hey, come bring him to me, and you gonna want to go out and do what you gotta do. So her being a good mother, you bring him to her, and you just find a good balance, And if that time y'all both want to do something, just be the bigger person and step up. Say, you know what? Okay, I don't want him here or there, so I'd rather him be with me. That's the safest thing to be, and you take that responsibility. I thank God for my mother. She helped me. She helped me a lot. She put me on game. She raised me and my brother. She put me on game. Just how to be great in this growth process of growing a child and me growing as a man. And so I'm very appreciative of that. And it's just, yeah, man, I hope through my videos I'll be having consistent content. I hope through my videos it can really help out a lot of fathers. That's my aim, to help out a lot of men to be great fathers. And I'm not saying I know it all, but if there's anything y'all can say to me that can help me, I greatly appreciate it. I want to be the best dad I can be, and I want y'all to be the best dads y'all can be. And I hope as I continue to keep making these videos, it give y'all ideas to do things to do with y'all children, and it give y'all like ideas of how to go about certain situations. And yeah, I would please ask, like, comment, subscribe, and just just give me a little feedback. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone doing YouTube. I told myself, man, I don't know. And then everybody, like, I get all these comments on Instagram, about how great of a father I'm being. And, it's like, I'm here now, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the YouTube platform for positive, uplifting videos and just anything, that can help others. And that's what I'm here for, to help fathers that maybe don't know what to do next, or maybe just don't know how fatherhood gonna be. But man, just believe in yourself, man, and just know every step you take of trying to be the best man you can be for your child, that's another check mark on your list of being a great father. And so it's make them check marks every day. You know what I'm saying? Every day, let's just try to be the best man we can be, because we got to lead by example so our children can have guidance. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they need, and especially in today's time. So man, like I say, man, please like, subscribe, and comment. And appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great one. Peace.